She said the thing!
Ooh, bacon.
Greetings, Tasty Morsels. This is Reverse BLT here, and I am about to get into the episode of the Sandman that I have been anticipating since I first heard they were making this series because it's the episode that introduces and focuses on my Bay of Bays, the single greatest female comic book character of all time, in my opinion, Death of the Endless, who I just love more than life itself, ironically. um, Last episode was an adaptation of the story 24/7 from the graphic novels, uh, which, yeah, you know, brought back some memories as it was unfolding. John was pursuing his twisted idea of what a world without lies would look like. And of course, pretty accurate, I think. A world in which everyone said every single thing that ever occurred to them would be a disaster. Because I don't think that it's necessarily lying to not say every single thing that's occurring to you when it occurs to you. Because as I explained during my, the post watch, um, thoughts and feelings section of the previous episode, I don't think that most of those thoughts that we have that we keep to ourselves are necessarily what we really think. They just represent our brain's ability to consider other options. And it just does it very quickly and almost goes to the level of creating a separate personality to consider those things, which is why sometimes those thoughts can surprise you. And I think that ranges, there's like a sort of a spectrum of how differentiated those thoughts are. And I think it goes all the way from just here, your inner monologue where you directly talk to yourself, you're guiding it completely, all the way over to DID, dissociative identity disorder, where the brain models different ways of thinking so well that it creates fully fledged other personalities that are sort of, other versions of the operating system in a way, running on the same hardware, all sharing the same hardware, which is a fascinating idea. But yeah, it just goes to show just how much excess brain power we really have. There's enough in there to run dozens, probably, of different versions of a person, and they can switch off, to do different things, which is kind of fascinating. I know there was somebody who is a DID system who was watching some of my videos back because they commented when I was watching Moon Knight on some of the stuff that was going on there. But anyway, this episode, there's a couple of things that I do remember very strongly from this. I know this episode's probably going to break me because I can remember some elements of what happens when Morpheus goes on go to work with Big Sis Day. Some elements of her job are extremely sad, obviously, because she is the end of life. That's her purpose. She's the end of all things. So some of those endings are very, very sad. I remember that. But on the plus side, I am really hoping, looking forward to this scene. I want her to hit him in the head with a French baguette. Okay? And I want her to say the line, "You are without a doubt the most pathetic excuse for an anthropomorphization of an abstract metaphysical concept that I have ever seen." If she says that line, I am going to laugh so hard. It's going to be awesome. But anyway, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it and see how they bring death to life here. Man, more more ironic phrasing. We're already starting out the way we should. There he is sitting on that park bench, feeding them pigeons that baguette.
Why are you getting so excited?
Do you ever think you'd see someone so excited to see a freaking baguette? Where are you, sis? Hit him in the head.
Sorry, man.
Oh, they even caught
Nice
that.
catch, though. Thank you.
Yeah, entities like that don't have to worry about catching things. Oh, I'll see you later.
Franklin. Come on, Franklin.
Good looking woman. Hit him in the head with that baguette.
You do that too much, you know what you get? Fat pigeons.
Fat pigeons.
Okay, so what's the matter?
I'm now more powerful than I have been in eons. And yet,
Here you are
Come on.
feeding the pigeons.
Hit him with that bread.
I'd had a true quest. A purpose beyond my function, and then suddenly it was over, and I felt disappointed.
Melancholy, eh?
I was so sure that once I got everything back, I'd feel good. But in some ways, I feel worse than when I started.
One of my favorite things Gaiman did with this story was how he made each of these entities sort of like missing or make the opposite of the thing that they embody. A dream basically has no dreams.
Let me tell you something, Dream. And I'm only going to say this once, so you better pay attention. You are utterly the stupidest, most self-centered, pathetic excuse for an anthropomorphic personification on this or any other plane.
She said the thing!
You haven't got the balls to go out and find a new one.
Hit him with that bread!
That's not going to happen.
Hit him.
You're as bad as Desire. No, worse.
Oh, come on!
Did it never occur to you that I would be worried about you?
Well, she said the thing.
Exactly.
That's awesome enough.
You didn't think.
Heads up!
Yeah.
I can't stay here all day. I've got work to do. You can come with me if you want.
Another concept that's interesting with them. All day. They're technically timeless as well, so.
Could I maybe see you again?
Sure, Franklin.
Oh, she'll see you soon.
You'll see me again.
Seriously?
Soon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
It's a gift.
Oh, thank you.
Good thing that it's a gift because you guys don't carry money.
That is delicious. What?
So notice, remember what I was saying? They're the opposite of what they are. Dream has no dreams. Death loves life the most out of all of
How are you, sis? How have you been keeping?
them.
I'm well, Dream.
Oh, we're gonna get to see her realm. I love her realm so much.
How are you, my sister? How have you been keeping?
I'm worried about my brother.
I did find it interesting how much Death really did worry about him, you know? Like always seems sort of like the babysitter out of all of them, you know what I mean? Like the one who cared the most. Well, I guess it makes sense. She's the one that loves life the most. And each of them is a vital element of life.
Sorry for the noise.
It's not nice, it's Schubert. Keep going.
This
I
is
can't.
going to be
He never finished it.
a whole episode
we
of
have is a
Glances Off, I
fragment.
think.
Oh, forgive me, I am Harry.
I know who you are, Harry.
Yep. She knows.
Do you know who I am?
No, not yet, please.
It's time.
Can I just... There's something I have to say, if that's all right.
Of course.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu. I'm glad I said the Shema. Now what?
Now's when you find out, Harry.
And of course, the concept of her having wings is trying to remember if it's unique to the Abrahamic religions. Death gods exist in every culture, obviously. And fun fact, comic book wise, all death entities are either her or manifestations of some element of her power.
When I was captured, it wasn't me they were looking for. It was you.
I know.
Imagine she heard the summons.
It's good to touch the earth with your bare feet. It's grounding. Come on. I don't want to miss the next one.
showrunners, please do an adaptation of The High Cost of Living.
Hi, Sam.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
She's here for you, buddy. I have a feeling you didn't make it out of the water.
No. I need to talk to my wife for like 1 second.
So sorry, Sam.
But we're on a honeymoon.
Your time's up.
Sam?
Notice how, like, everybody, they
Sam!
recognize her. It takes like a second, but then they know who she is.
How do you do it?
Do what?
This. Be there. For all of them.
It's her function.
I have a job to do. And I do it. When the last living thing dies, I'll put the chairs on the table, turn out the lights, and
I suppose.
lock the universe behind me when I leave.
I love how there's so many lines directly from the book.
I was fine in the beginning. Dying and living were new things, and people did them with the enthusiasm they always bring to new things. And then after a bit, it just got harder.
But you continued.
I thought about giving up. It really started to get to me. I got kind of hard and brittle inside. But eventually, I learned that all they really need is a kind word and a friendly face. Like they had in the beginning.
Which was also her. Because the Gaiman took the story of the I think it's mainly Jewish, the concept of the angel of death bringing you to the world and taking you out. And they say the divot you have here comes from the angel of death telling you all the secrets of life in the universe and everything, and then going, don't tell me about it.
That's all you get.
This was the saddest one.
All right, sweetie. Lunchtime.
We can go.
Not because the baby died, but because of the mom.
Eating.
I think in the graphic novel, the baby actually talked to her, like asked her, is that it?
Why do they fear the sunless land?
Well, is this the lady who...
It is as natural to
no,
die
it's
as
different.
it is to be born.
There was one character who was like a chimera, and I was wondering if they were going to do that one. She's doing such a good job.
The
This
sunless
actress.
lands are far away, and the journey is hard. Most of us will be glad for the company of a friend. At the end, I'm there with them. I'm holding their hand, and they're holding mine.
The partnership.
I realized I need them as much as they need me.
She's everything a god should be.
I've seen so many cool things and people and worlds. So I think I'm really very lucky.
She's just the best.
You've taught me something I had forgotten. I thank you, my sister.
She's always there for you, man.
That's what family's about, little brother.
To me, man! Over here!
One last appointment, then have to go.
Yep.
Did you see that? That car came like this close to hitting me.
This close, huh?
Yeah.
See you, Dream. Don't be a stranger, okay?
Go see your buddy.
Come on, then.
No, we're going straight to the flashback. Cool.
Penny ale for me and another for my brother, and it please you?
Certainly, lady.
Interesting they didn't change her form for this. Because I can pretty much guarantee you she doesn't look like this to these people at 1389.
No.
Drink your drink.
We need to return to law and order.
Goes home,
We need to act
his wife
against
bent
these
over,
bandits.
putting something in the
They
oven.
are.
So he puts his hand. Oh,
He's so good at playing Surly Dream.
Death is stupid. You're a fool, Hog.
Nobody has to die. The only reason people die is because everyone does it. You all just go along with it. I'm not going to die.
You and I are of the same mind, my friend.
I might get lucky.
I'm just
As
like,
well the
nope,
first time.
not gonna
There's
do
so
it.
much to do. There's so many things to see.
But I don't know. If death is her, I might go along just for the companionship.
This is an extreme thirst.
Why would any sensible creature crave an eternity of this?
Possibilities.
Did I hear you say you have no intention of ever dying?
Yeah, that's right.
Then you must tell me what it's like. Let us meet here again, Robert Gatling, in this tavern of the White Horse, in 100 years.
I think it's cool they found time to tell this little tale.
I will see you in the year of our Lord 1489 then.
See, I want to live forever because possibilities. For as long as life exists in the universe, there will be the possibility of new and interesting things. Think about it, like 1,000 years from now, humanity will be on dozens, if not hundreds of worlds. We may even have met another species by then. Things would just be unrecognizable to you now. I want to see that. I want to see it at 5,000, 20,000, a million. I want to see what happens.
Have I made a bargain with the devil?
No.
Then why aren't I dead? Long since. Is this some kind of game?
No game.
Why?
Bet. A little experiment, I guess, really.
It's fucking brilliant. And now we have these little cloth pieces for your nose. In the old days, we just used our sleeves. Yeah. Oh, and playing cards.
What will you people think of next?
That's the whole point. Who knows?
What have you been doing for the last 100 years?
Just experiencing life.
Soldiering, mainly. A little banditry here and there if I couldn't find a war. Now, I've started in a new trade. It's called printing. Never be a real demand for it, and it's hard work, but it beats the hell out of rotting to maggots in the ground, eh?
I love watching the period dress change and everything, but even his outfits keep getting updated.
And for one's dreams,
So what's this, Elizabethan?
And bargain with the darkest powers.
My friend!
Is this when he meets Shakespeare?
Hello, Hob.
Hob? Faith, that takes me back some few years.
You've had good fortune, I take it.
The gods have smiled on me as they smile on all England, where no man is slave or bondsman. Venison pasty? No? They're good.
That does look pretty tasty.
Put it to work in Henry Tudor's shipyards. I made a small pile. Then I went north for a year or so, came back as my son. Done that twice now. My fair Eleanor. The little Robin. My first son born in over 200 years on this earth.
Dream is still so skeptical.
To give men dreams that would live on long after I'm dead. I would bargain, like your Faustus, for that boon.
Who is he?
His name's Will Shakespeare.
Young William Shakespeare.
Acts a bit, wrote a play.
Is he good?
No, it's crap. That chap next to him, with the broken leg, he's a good playwright.
The guy that they thought wrote all of his plays, I think.
The Queen
Can't think of
herself
who it was.
slept at my house this summer. That was expensive.
He was a lord like him. Like, what was his name? What was it, Baron? No.
Are you Will Shakespeare?
I, sir?
And you write great plays? Create new dreams to spur the minds of men? Is that your will?
It is.
And let us talk.
Is that how you actually say his name, Shakespeare?
Sure, I can't help you, sir.
No, thank you.
Wait! Don't wait! Wait! Get back to the stew with the rest of the filth!
Let him be.
Fortunes fell.
Do you know?
Last century has not been kind to you.
My Eleanor. She died in childbirth. The baby too.
It was very common back then.
They tried to drown me as a witch. I'd lived there 40 years, overconfident. Got out with my skin a little more.
So do you still wish to live?
Are you crazy? Death is a mug's game. I've got so much to live for.
go, man. You go. Starting to record it.
Yeah, first the colonies, now France. You ask me, this country will be next for a revolution.
Right after our independence and the French Revolution, yeah.
There's a new system where they take English cotton goods to Africa, get a cargo of Negroes, pack them in like sardines. Same ship takes them across the Atlantic, then comes back here with raw cotton, tobacco, and sugar. What?
Now, I thought in the graphic novel this was where we actually got introduced to Johanna Constantine.
It's a poor thing for one man to enslave another.
It's just how it's done.
I suggest you find yourself a different line of business, Robert Gatling.
What happened to live your life as you choose?
The choice is yours. But would you take that choice away from others?
The guy Dreamlord doesn't believe in slavery, though he does believe in locking up a woman who spurned him in hell for thousands of years.
I saw a production of King Lear yesterday. Mrs. Siddons has gone her off. The idiots are giving it a happy ending.
Okay, hypocrite.
Who are you, truly? What's your name?
I might ask both of you that same question, gentlemen.
Okay, so they're just gonna have. Okay, I'm curious how exactly they're doing this. Why even bother? I mean, you guys are there's no danger to you.
I don't suppose you care to find another pub tonight?
She may have told others about our meeting. It will not be safe for you.
I can't die, remember?
Aye, but you can be hurt or captured. You must be cautious.
I gave him what he didn't like and so.
Is that Maddie?
Who now?
How'd you like to buy a girl a drain of pail? And maybe a quick bum dance? Give us an hard ride with your cream stick.
I think not.
I bet you ain't got it in you anyway, you skinny chicken Leary.
Lou, get yourself a drink.
Maybe just one.
Oh, so now he's running the brothel, huh?
In here they call her the hospital.
Why?
Because she's in them a great deal. And because she sent so many men into them. No idea what her real name is.
Louise Baldwin. A cousin raped, impregnated, and deserted her when she was just a child.
How do you know all that?
He knows you all.
People are almost always better than you think they are. Not me,
give him
though.
a chance.
Still the same as ever.
I think perhaps you've changed.
I may have learnt a bit from my mistakes, but it doesn't seem to stop me from making them.
That's what it means to be human.
I think it's you that's changed.
We're always going to make new mistakes.
How so?
I remember this. He noticed it.
I think
that he was changing.
Why we still meet here century after century. It's not because you want to see whether or not I'm ready to seek death. I don't think I'll ever seek death. By now you know that about me. So, I think you're here for something else.
Trying to understand why.
I think you're lonely. No, look, I'm not saying...
Dare suggest one such as I might need your companionship.
The arrogance.
Yes, I do.
What his sister had to teach him was a very important lesson for him.
Prove you wrong.
I tell you what, I'll be here in 100 years' time. If you're here then too, it'll be because we're friends. No other reason.
Can you imagine just like seeing all he's seen in the course of 600 plus years?
Mind if I...
I'm actually waiting for someone.
Oh man, that old 80s fashion of the blazer and white t-shirt. Good old Miami Vice. Oh my god, look at that freaking mobile. You can tell he still has a ton of money though. Well, he's rebuilt his fortunes anyway. Because back in those days, that thing would have been a crap ton of money.
What's the oldest you got?
Well, I've got a Glen Grant, old enough to be your father.
I'm older than I look.
Yeah, my mom and I disagree on that one. She doesn't want to live forever, but I sure as hell do.
This place has been sold to make room for new flats. The borough council are trying to stop them, but if you've got enough money in this country, you can do whatever you bloody want.
And he will. This pub is not going anywhere. He's got a lot of money, if I remember correctly. And like I said, the trappings we see here all demonstrate that he does. For one thing, he's probably having himself serve $1,000 a bottle scotch right now. Maybe even more expensive than that. The new inn. Can't even imagine having a friendship so strong. I think that's the main reason people don't want to live forever, because they worry about who they'll lose, what they'll lose. But the way I look at it is, when you die, you lose everything.
You're
So
It seems I owe you an apology. I've always had it impolite to keep one's friends waiting.
one of the only beings in all of his existence who he would actually say that about. Oh, they're in Desire's realm. Desire's realm, of course, fittingly is themselves. They live in their own heart.
I stand in my gallery and I hold your sigil.
Summoning
My
your
brother has found a way
sister.
out of his cage. My plan
Despair.
has failed. But don't worry. I have a new one.
Okay. What is Desire's plan? I can't remember. So I'm just gonna have to. But I don't know if it's right for me to speculate either, because I'm sure in my subconscious I can remember some of it. Let's see. So, as abstract beings, their main things would either be to increase their ability to perform their function, to rebel against performing their function, or to negate something that either infringes upon their function or that would lock them into a certain path. Dreams are fueled by desire. And Dream has the largest realm, because that's another thing. One of the big things is always in play in the story is different entities that want Dream's realm, because it's the largest of all, because it's made up of the boundless dreams of all the sentient beings in the universe. So it's possible that Desire wants that. Just to pour their own will into it, I guess, to sort of, create nothing but desire. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Huh. Maybe. Oh wait, but you know what though? So I think the way desire was in opposition to their function was that they didn't have any real desires for themselves, like any real true concrete desires. Instead, they just became a manifestation of just sheer avarice. They just wanted everything, So it's possible that this is just about getting Dream's realm, because it is the biggest. It is the grandest of all the realms, right? So having it would just be a big thing to do. I can't remember. But that's kind of what I'm speculating here with. And of course, Desire's closest to their twin, Despair. And so the plan would have to involve something, in theory, beneficial for Despair as well. And Despair's thing was the way that she was in opposition to her function was that she was the one, if I remember right, who was the most full of hope. Like, she was I know Death seemed obviously very optimistic and everything, but Death's thing is really just a joy of life. She just loves life. But Despair had that kind of tenacious hope that just keeps you going forward, the tenacity, And so whatever they're doing, I'm certain works in tandem, because the twins are closest to each other out of all of them. And Death is basically like the mom of all of them. But I don't know. I don't want to say too much, because I'm sure we'll get into all of that. Very interesting episode. I didn't expect them to combine. I don't think that. I'm trying to remember how it worked, because obviously with graphic novels, you kind of combine different stories together in one volume half the time. So I can't really remember whether they split off. The Sound of Her Wings was its own story, and then there was the story with him and Hobb. But I can't remember if they were in the same volume or not, and I can't remember how much they overlapped. But it was really cool seeing both of those. Seeing Death was fantastic. I think the actress is really nailing the feel of the character, just how she has just so much just compassion and love and everything for all living things, and for life itself. I thought she really captured that, and it was great seeing how she relates the way that she came to terms as the universe was aging around her with it, the way that she had this crisis, kind of like what Dream is going through now, and how she found a way past it, where she had a choice essentially. She could just continue to become harder and less sympathetic and more, as she described it, emotionally brittle, basically, as a way of dealing with her function, or she could just turn it around and find a way to make it, rather than about taking something from people, giving them something, and filling herself with a sort of like a love born out of that. It's just, like I said, is what I would hope any gods, if they really existed, would be like. Just motivated by a genuine desire to just use their power to care for things that rely on them. I don't know. I'm gonna start rambling if I go down that rabbit hole too much. And that was sort of embodied for Dream by this kind of idea of a friendship with a human who is so far beneath him. Like finding the value of an ant, basically, and admitting that he could be friends with someone who he used to view as below his station. Now he understands, thanks to his conversation with his sister, that it's almost the other way around, or even is the other way around. They exist because they're needed by these ants, So with all the power they have, it doesn't matter. There's still, power is not really what separates you a lot of the times, It's goes deeper than that. It's about what's in here, and what's in here, I guess, metaphorically speaking. But anyway, another fantastic episode. I love that she said the line. I'm sad that we didn't get to see her bonk him in the head with the baguette. But other than that, fantastic. And let me know what you guys thought of the episode, what you thought of the two different stories, what you thought of just the little Easter egg almost, even though it did happen in the story too, I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure I remember it happening in the story. But like seeing Joanna Constantine's ancestor, and one of you guys explained it to me, like what, because there was a lot of speculation going around about why modern day Constantine was also a Joanna instead of John. And apparently it really came down to a rights issue. That basically they just don't have the rights right now to use John Constantine in a live action adaptation. So they just made kind of like a what do they always used to call it in some stories, genetic reincarnation, which happens. You look at family lines, and it does happen like every, like, I don't know, like 4, 5, 6, 20 generations. It varies, but like there will be people who are spitting images of an ancestor. So I mean, yeah, I can totally accept that. Plus, I got to see Jenna Coleman again, which was also fun. Nice little bonus, because I had forgotten until right when when we saw her about to unveil herself. I was like, oh wait, that's right, Joanna Constantine was in this part of the story. So that was cool. But anyway, like I said, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Thanks for joining me for this one, and hopefully you'll join me for more. As always, do your best to stay safe and be well, and I will see you for the next one. Sweet dreams. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I'm afraid so. That's all you get.
I find your attitude cavalier. May I speak to your manager?